In the 3 weeks we have owned this crusty detached house, we have been going balls to the walls with DIY renovations.
Oh God.
It's been a satisfying grind, with progress beginning to show in all areas.
That's so nice.
With trees having been chopped to reveal the whole house, a workshop being built, walls being removed, a bathroom being stripped.
You alright?
Yeah.
And so much more. But if this is your first time to the channel, you've joined us just at the right time. And you're here in time to see us near enough complete the transformation of this bathroom.
This is exactly how we wanted the bathroom to be.
This episode is just 1 week in our lives of a 25-year-old couple DIY renovating our home into a house of dreams. And boy, have we got absolutely massive plans for this house. With our planning permission response due any day now, we've got extensions due to be built, dormers being added, and driveways being laid. But we'll get more into the specifics of some design plans a little later on this episode. Also, this episode, you'll see us build a stud wall, tackle our 1/4 of an acre overgrown garden, have some banter with our plumber,
They're my hands if anyone else is
and bosh through the final bits of this bathroom. Your support as watchers for the start of this YouTube series has been breathtaking, with tens of thousands of you tuning in every week. We can't wait to show you the rest of our journey. So, without further ado, let's just get into it.
So we're currently in our mess of the kitchen, which is eventually going to be our utility room. Now, we asked a lot of you guys a couple of videos ago to put your comments down below whether you think we should stud off this utility room and make it a separate room or keep it open plan. This might all sound a little bit confusing, so let's explain exactly what we mean quickly.
So, this is where you come through the front door of the house. The living room is to the left, and the room behind that is the current kitchen. The current kitchen will turn into our utility room, and behind this room we are creating a huge kitchen diner extension at the back of the house. But here's the predicament. You have to go through the utility room to get to the kitchen. Originally we were so fine with this idea, but lots of you guys have suggested to make a stud wall here, making the utility a little smaller, but also having an actual hallway which would take you to the kitchen extension. And actually, we have to agree with you lot. So that's what we're going to do today.
We're building the wall, baby! Woohoo! First major job is finding out where these joists are above us. Because we obviously need to screw our head plate, which is the bit at the top of the stud wall, into a joist. So let's find a joist quickly by screwing up until we find one. And it would go unload a load of stuff.
So we now need to measure from this wall to that wall on the floor for a foot plate and put that in place.
Job's never as easy as you think. It turns out because the concrete floor is below, we can't just put wood screws through it into the joist. So we're going to have to drill it with a brick after marking up where all the holes are and go from there.
Drill it with a brick.
Drill it with a brick drill.
Drill it with a brick. I love drilling with bricks.
Drilling with bricks is the best.
My favourite. Hang on.
What?
We can't have a wall plate. We can't have this in the way when we're walking into the doorway. Can we? I just had a brainwave and you're going to laugh at this. We were securing this down as the floor and I thought, hang on a second, we have to have a door frame going in here. No one wants to step up onto a piece of wood to get into the utility room. So we've just realised we need to put the frame in place, the door frame in place, and then put the floor plates on either side of that. So let's do that. Much better.
a day.
What a day. So our plumber Tom is here today and he is in the bathroom doing our second fix. So that means we have another day in this utility room doing this stud wall. So today we are just doing the vertical studs in between these pieces of wood, and it's going to be a fun day because we're going to put the plasterboard on and we're going to see it look like two separate rooms or one separate room in the hallway, which will be really exciting.
Fine times.
So let's go. Right, we're on the last piece of stud work down there and then we can start plasterboarding. Woo!
Time for the last piece of plasterboard. Let's go.
So it's time to reflect on what we've done. Going into the front door with the living room on the left, and then behind that going into the current kitchen. And now when we go through the front door, we can see straight through to the living room since knocking down that wall last week. And we now have a zigzagged hallway into the back of the house. This hallway is going to really keep the utility room separate from the rest of the house, meaning we won't be able to hear any noises from the washing machine, and if it gets a little messy in there from time to time, then at least we can hide it away. So we have a question to ask you guys, and it is about this window here behind me. This window is looking out to the garden from the current kitchen. As you know, this will be our utility room, and the extension will come out the back here. Do we keep the window? Do we change it to be a single glazed one overlooking our kitchen?
I love that idea.
You like that idea?
I'm team single glaze.
Bearing in mind though, because the garden slopes down, the whole extension is going to be much lower. You're going to have to go down 4 oak steps to get to the kitchen. So from the kitchen side, that is going to be really high up. It's going to be a part of sort of the ceiling. It
could look a little bit like a prison viewing.
Yeah, so it might look a bit odd. Or we could do like a slit where it's like down here, so at least it's not all the way up to the ceiling on the other side. Or we could do like a bougie circle, so we still got some sort of light in.
That's hard, that's expensive.
It's more expensive, yeah.
So basically what we're saying is, let us know in the comments below whether your team keep the window for an internal window or team brick it up.
Bricking it up would mean that there's only an extractor fan in this utility room, there's no window.
The window wouldn't be openable anyway.
Yeah, this window wouldn't go out to the outside, obviously it would go to the extension.
I'm thinking the window would bring a lot of light. I like the window idea.
Me too.
And basically, do you want to see Nikki the Brickie again?
The last time you saw this bathroom here, we had tiled it, and Alfie had tiled the wall tiles, and we'd done all the plumbing, and the plasterer came. But now it is time to grout these tiles and do everything we need to do until we can put all of the suite in, and then our plumber can come round and do his second fix. And we want to get these tiles grouted before he arrives. So let's get on with that. Also, because we asked you a couple episodes ago what colour grout to use, we've gone with the majority of what you guys have said, and you guys said a light grey, which is what we've got here. We've got the Mapo Ultra Colour Plus, so let's slap this on the walls and hope it looks good.
Can't really remember what texture of grout I'm meant to be going for, but something like that seems about right. Also, shout out to whoever mentioned this in the comments last week about keeping all your tools in one bucket in a room, because it just stops you losing them all. So when you're done with a tool, you put it back in the bucket. Very helpful. Thank you, young man.
Now it's time to grout the floor. As you can see behind me, we've done the walls already. And once the floor is done, then we can start thinking about mist coating. As you can see, after a few hours of drying, the grout has turned a nice light grey colour. The actual tiles still need a good wipe down, but we're pretty chuffed with the results. And now that the grout is dry, our plumber Tom was able to come in and do some of the second fix in the bathroom. Tom is not only a plumber, but also a part-time legend. So we really recommend him if anyone else in the West Berkshire area is looking for a plumber too.
Toilet's flushing. I've never been so excited in my life. They're my hands if anyone asks. Seemed it on purpose. You never know.
It's not.
Okay, so today is a big day for us. Today is all about finishing off this bathroom. Tom came yesterday and did the shower tray and toilet. Now it's time for us to kind of put the shower door in place, put the vanity unit in, and really make this bathroom look finished, which is crazy. Let's just get straight into it because we're too excited.
So all of our bathroom suite and our tiles are from Easy Bathroom. If you haven't watched the last couple of videos, then you wouldn't know that we are using their online planner to create a layout and a design we love. The room is incredibly small, so being able to see how the furniture would work within the room was super important to us before we went ahead and bought it. Finally time to do a mist coat on these walls, and it has been about 6 or 7 days and they are finally dry with the help of this little heater that we've been using to heat the room up. But finally we can do a mist coat and then eventually paint it white.
That's so nice.
This is exactly how we wanted the bathroom to be. It's beautiful.
Now the bathroom is clearly far from finished. We have the shower door to attach to the quadrant, we have some boxing out to do around the cockstop by the toilet, We have skirting boards and architraves to attach, we have a towel rail to install, we have a lot of ceiling to do, and lastly, we have to get the spotlights, extractor fan and switches installed, which will be happening in a couple of days' time. Hence the awful lighting in here, making the wall tiles look far darker than they actually are. But we are absolutely chuffed with how this bathroom is turning out, and we can't wait to use it. A big thank you to Easy Bathrooms, as this is exactly the bathroom we had dreamt of. And if you want any of these products, then I'll link everything in the description below, so you can take a cheeky look yourselves.
Our garden really is absolutely huge. Like, it's impossible to capture the full scope of it because there's just so overgrown and there's loads of different little sections. But it's massive, like, it's like a forest back there. But let's start getting it emptied because there is weeks and months worth of work to be done back here.
This slope here is where the tree surgeons took out a huge row of bushes in our back garden in last episode. And you can actually kind of see all the stumps where they used to be. And now that this is all gone, it has exposed a lot of things that the previous owners had left. Annoyingly, the camera isn't angled low enough, but we were collecting a whole skip's worth of plastic plant pots, which were buried under the soil. Obviously, the last owners were keen gardeners, but we couldn't quite believe how many old plant pots were buried here. Although gardening is so physically intense, it is probably one of the most rewarding jobs that we have done on our house so far. Being able to watch back our progress through these time lapses is also such a motivation for us. And not to mention, when you're in a dusty house all day, it is so nice to give your lungs a break and be outside for a whole afternoon.
So since we're doing a bit of gardening this week, it makes sense to remind you of the plans for this back garden space. So you might see behind me here, this is currently the kitchen, which is gonna become the utility because we're gonna be extending behind me here. So it's gonna be a 4.8 by 7.5 meter extension. So it's going 7.5 meters long, which is gonna stretch all the way to here. Now, as for the rest of the garden, the extension is going to be this side of me here. If you're just trying to give you the context, you know where I am. This part behind me here is going to be patioed. That bit is going to be freshly laid patio by me, Alfs and Nix, and it's going to make like a little patio courtyard area. Maybe we'll pop something to put pics on the screen now. Now, follow me around to the rest of this massive garden. So this is the view you're gonna get out of the back of the extension here, and this is gonna be bifold doors all the way along here, and you're gonna see down there, the view's gonna be a little bit better nearer the time. Maybe less crusty sheds, who knows? Quickly follow me down this hill here. So again, sorry I keep repeating myself, extension here on the right, you can imagine it. Get it in your head, little L extension there. Then you've got the sleeper wall here, which is going to be pushed back. So we're going to pull a load of dirt up to flatten off that top space and then put a sleeper edged wall there with some steps down to the flat rest of your garden. It's going to be turfed or seeded, depending on what condition we're in down here. But it is a massive garden. It's a 1/4 acre plot. So we've got a lot of outside work to do, but there's some really exciting times ahead out here. If you guys have any ideas of what we should kind of do with this garden space, because there's so much room to work with, let us know in the comments below, because we're always open to ideas. What an unbelievable week. Honestly, I feel like we've made so much progress.
Yeah, we have.
We still haven't managed to get to the finish of the bathroom, which we're both a bit disappointed with, but we're here for the journey, not for the end result.
Yeah, and we can't rush these things, otherwise the finish won't be as good as what we want it to be. But that being said, thank you so much for watching our videos. If you're new, you might not know, but we do these videos every single Sunday, and you're gonna want to be subscribed so you can catch them every single week.
And it's worth us saying we are just so overwhelmed with the amount of support we've had for this series, in numbers of views, in numbers of comments. You guys are all kind of giving us your opinions and saying you're watching along with the series and enjoying it. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah,
So
it does.
thank you all so much for watching. And on that note,
We will see you next Sunday.
see you next Sunday.
Love you, bye.
Bye.